How's it going, Paige? So, if you don't know who I am or they are, we are No Simple Road. This is Daniel Donato.
I am Apple.
And I'm Aaron.
I'm Mel.
We could get you your own.
I'll just share. I'll be loud.
We're good at sharing.
So, you know, for all of you sitting out there looking at us and all of you online, like, it's a big deal for No Simple Road to be a Peach. And it's an even bigger deal to be sitting with Daniel and doing this. But, you know, to all of you out there, like, it seems super normal that we're just up here doing this and that's the way things are supposed to be. But, like, 5 years ago, we were just going to shows and doing festivals. I started a podcast with a mic clamped to a table on my porch. And from there, now we're here 5 years later. So the surreality of this moment is not lost to me, and I just wanted to share that with all of you. This is weird and super cool.
We also want to thank everybody involved in the Peach because this hands out asking to be at places, and they were Live Nation and Peach were awesome enough to like invite us to come out here, which blew our minds. Once you get invited to something, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
We got invited to the party. We didn't have to crash it. Cool.
yes.
Well, yeah. A gathering of community in all forms, whether it's music or dialogue.
Yeah.
The frequencies are just as relevant in any platform. And it's so cool to still have a destination and a time where we can go and enjoy that reality with others. And Peach is a stellar phenomenon.
Yes, it is.
Completely. And let's not let the fact get lost that this is the 10th anniversary, you guys. That's a
Yes,
big
it
deal.
is.
10 years of something is huge. 10 years of anything is a big deal. But to pull something of this magnitude off 10 years in a row and have it be awesome and a well-oiled machine every time, that's something. So
We also want to say a shout out to Osiris out there. Osiris
whoa.
is our podcast network along with Daniel's podcast network. And we wanted to start off with that. Daniel, how did you get hooked up with Osiris? If you remember.
It's not our job to know, Mel.
Yeah. I think it was
They
my-
reached out to you.
They did. They did, yeah. I remember being very thrilled. Because I read the email like 7 in the morning. It was the day we were on the road. And I like to wake up early on the road when I can and play some guitar and pick around. And I saw that, and it was a nice external world validation for this internal endeavor. Just like Peach, Osiris is another media and content experience that is on that frequency. And they hold space for a lot of creators and creatives and people who have something to say. And they don't necessarily care about the engagement so much as they do just you being so true in who you are and what you're looking for and what you're trying to learn through speaking.
Right. And you know that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you here is that, like, you know, the No Simple Road is like a child to me. It's my kid, and you know, we've all cared for it as a family together. And very early on in the life of No Simple Road, you came into our lives. And you were this young, like, bright-eyed kid that was just fucking shredding the guitar. And we became friends. And, you know, I think it was 2018 that you came on. And we've had the opportunity to watch you grow and, like, witness your journey. And it's something to behold, man. It really is. It's beautiful. And it's inspiring to us because I feel like, and I told you this when we talked on the phone, like, we're all kind of on the same weird trajectory. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I remember this. We were on the phone when I was in Outer Banks, North Carolina, a few weeks ago. Yeah, absolutely. I remember that. It was a stellar time because that was the first time we spoke on the phone in a few years. That's wild. And that was the thing. I I think you mentioned where it felt like where we picked up, we never left off.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we just talked about it earlier, we also had the pleasure of getting to talk to Daniel's mother, who thanked us for all the support that we gave to him, and she even became a Patreon subscriber and supports us.
Oh, wow.
So like the whole family,
Wow.
Daniel and his family mean a lot to us.
But I was thinking about talking to you today, man, and something that like has been a difficult thing for us as No Simple Road is like the back and forth between reality, the day job, and then doing our passion and what we love, which is the show. And like, it's difficult to come to something like this and immerse yourself for 4 days with the family and like, be free and let go, and then to step back into default reality and play the game. And I know that for you, you've had the opportunity, and that's kind of what I meant when I said we've had the opportunity to see you grow, is I see that you are able now to fully immerse yourself in the world of passion and creativity, and you know, and I'm just wondering what that experience has been like for you to be able to like kind of put the concerns of the day-to-day aside when you have people helping you out like ETL, and just being able to focus on creating and becoming better at what your craft is. Like, what does that feel like for you?
It feels just like what I asked for. And then more.
That's so perfect.
Yeah. It's always what
You
I
get what you ask for and then you appreciate it. You're not done. You're not done appreciating it.
No.
You just started.
No. I just started.
That's right.
I think it was Herman Hesse that said that the artist's job is essentially to see the ordinary in a new way as often as possible. And I just love that because there's really no excuse to not partake in that philosophy. And it's free, and it opens it up a little, and a lot of it will also like, because it sounds like it's a friendly thing. Okay, see everything new. Okay, but what if you're having a bad day?
Right.
How do you get out of this newness of anger? That's a weird one. So like,
How do you do it?
like when you get everything you ask for and then more, you're presented with like the shadow of what you asked for, and you're given the opportunity to like focus on the positive and then handle whatever is like maybe self-produced, what is mostly negative. You know, a lot of the negativities of the situation I find when if I'm ever getting into a staticky space of bad noise, a lot of it's me doing it. It's all coming from me as opposed to coming at me.
Yes.
And the ego
Wow.
kind of looks at it as like it's something coming at it, but in reality,
Self-driven.
yeah, it's a self-manufactured experience to some degree. So I'm just always trying to keep it like patient, persistent, and positive as much as I can. I try to accept the fact that, you know, I was home 5 days last month. I was off for 2 days. I just got a house and moved everything into the house.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Never gone for 21 days, and then it's like that all the way up until like December, really. And it's, I remember 4 years ago when I was sitting in my desk room in my house in East Nashville, I had like 100 venues I had emailed, and 3 got back to me. And then that was our first tour. And then like a week later, I spoke to you guys, which was so weird. And what I asked for 4 years ago is what I have today. It's cool. It's weird.
So
It is weird.
I have a question. When your dreams get fulfilled, what else?
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. When dreams turn into realities, then realities have kind of always been a dream. And so the difference between a dream and something that is consciously realistic is pretty thin.
Veil. Yeah.
Well,
And so then maybe you could look at these dreams as perhaps a foresight into a reality that was yet to happen in space and time.
Change the dynamic.
Yeah.
So
And
I just try to keep seeing and feeling and having a vision for what I want next. And I try to make sure I'm aligned with a value set that is sober to something that fits me well. And
so what does that look like? What do the values
In
look
action.
like? Yeah.
consistency, cosmic consistency. Yeah. With community, with music, and with flow. Like Trey says on that Fish XM interview, it's like this minute 24-second video of like how he prepares for a fish show.
About going into the stall and letting God out before him. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And he, everything he's pointing to is creating something that is, he says when you're an artist or when you're a person whose life work exists in a state of flow, you have to prepare more than people see, and you have to abandon more than you could ever believe. So it's kind of just like a let go or be dragged.
Yes.
You're going for the ride no matter what. So you
And at
can
least
get in
we're
and sit,
enjoying
or
it,
you
right?
can get your toes dragged.
So a value I have is just to try to let go more. Like I just got a massage 2 days before, like the day before tour. So I was schlepping all this furniture over to my new house. And I'm 4 hours of sleep in between tours. And she was massaging my arm. And she's like, just let go, just let go. She's like, you're having a really hard time letting go. And it was so funny because it was only in my arms. It's like, this is what I'm using.
That's why all your creativity flows through this.
Yeah. So I
Can't let that go.
that's a value to like in a long circular way to get back to. It's like consistency and within community, within music, and then in just like the being in the flow and just surrendering to it and not getting mad at yourself for being too mean or comparative to others.
Right.
You know, all those things. Yeah.
My dad was a producer and a director and a writer. So my whole life I was around somebody that was constantly creating his reality. And even as a little kid, I saw that that's what he was doing and aspired to do that when I got older. And one of the things that like I learned from him was when you're dreaming and then your dreams become reality, like he would always say, as soon as I finish the project or the movie or writing the script or whatever the thing is that I was bringing to life, I'm already thinking of the next thing, already, because reality is in a constant state of being created through our perception. And if we stop, then that gives room to the noise and static around us. But if we're constantly moving and keeping that flow going, then those dreams have the opportunity to grow and become something grand and big and wonderful, right? And like, another really important, we're talking about values, right? Cosmic values. One of the biggest things that he taught me was, your word is all you have. That's it. At the end of the day, your creativity, your talent, your time, all that crap is nothing. What stands is your word, and what you say you're going to do it. And if you tell somebody something, you tell them the truth. If you say you're going to be somewhere, you show up. Like, your word means everything. And that flows into your music too, man. That goes into your music and becomes the fruit of that thing and blossoms out. And that, I think that's the thing that, like, as a fan of yours, that we all pick up on, is that genuine nature, that there's such an energy of like gratitude and
It's real love.
Yeah, love. That's it.
It's real
That's
love. So Aaron and I and Apple were in Skull and Roses back in April. It was amazing. And there was like a little lull in between the acts, and Aaron and I were just kind of like hugging it out, standing up, just waiting, you know. And some guy comes and taps us on the shoulder and was like, man, I just want to say that I really love your love right now. You guys, I feel it, and I
He
just...
was a little spun too.
He was definitely spun, but he still was able to tap and say the words, so he wasn't that spun. And I think what Aaron was saying too, like especially with you, and why I love you so much too, is like you can feel the love when you're playing and you're giving it to us. You're giving us love, and there's nothing greater than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love what you're doing so much that it's like spilling out. You know what I mean? Like,
I've never thought about it that way.
think about it.
I also feel
Thanks
what
for the
you
love.
mean.
Yeah. Thanks for the love. That's what really, like with No Simple Road and all the musicians that we talk to, whether there's 100 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people listening, it doesn't matter. I'm most grateful to be able to tell the person that we're talking to what you mean to us and to everybody out there, because we get to say it for everybody. Like, that's what you're feeling back from us, is all the love that you're giving us. We're like a big fat mirror, and you're feeling it back. That's why we cheer, like, yes,
Well,
because you're
and we've been,
giving it to us, you know? And so that's what I want to say. It's just so grateful that you're on your craft and your consistency, because that is feeding us, literally.
yeah, man. And we've been accused of being gushy and unprofessional.
which we fully embrace, and they're going to
I
make
love
shirts
that.
that say that.
I love that. I do. I want a shirt that says No
Yes.
Simple Road, gushy and unprofessional. But
Well, that's what we do, the Gushing Unprofessional. That's why we started this, is to give back gratitude. One of our favorite things that we do, and we're out of Portland, Oregon, and everybody we talk to, we invite them to come stay at our house with us, because bands, when you guys are on the road and you're traveling, I mean, you're worn out. You're putting everything you can into making it to our town to give us a night of love and fun and community. And it is so fun to have bands. We've had quite a few come stay with us to give them a place to do laundry, rest their head, cook them a home-cooked meal. And our podcast is the way of giving that back too. It's our way of saying thanks. So we are gushy and unprofessional, because that's how much we love Daniel Donato and everybody that we talk to.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So, because it's the 10th anniversary, I want to know your top 10 things when you go to a festival or you play a concert. What are your favorite things to do, see, experience?
wait, think about your answer. I just have to give everybody some backstory. So we were talking about what we were going to do at Peach, right? Like, we don't usually prepare anything. I never write questions for the podcast. We just have a conversation. And so we were talking about Peach, and Mel was like, well, it's the 10th anniversary. Let's do like your 10 favorite whatever, right? And I was like, no, we can't do 10. We'll do 3. So
I actually,
welcome to 10, everybody.
You have 10.
when you said 10, then my mind compressed it into 3 naturally.
Okay, you could do 3. That's perfect.
Because 3 is the magic number.
It
the
is,
magic
definitely.
number. You know what, before you say that, have you done anything consistently for 10 years?
Yeah.
Play music.
Yeah, play music. Absolutely.
So think about the significance of that.
I
Like,
know.
when you've done something for 10 freaking years, you've been in a relationship for 10 years, you've been in school 10 years, whatever, there's a freaking pride for that. You're like excited, you're stoked. That's what's going on right here. We're like, everybody's like excited and celebratory. So that's why I like get excited to hear what you're stoked on. Like, what do you come here, what do you get excited about? Because I know like it's doing this, or like being in that wave pool, or, you know, dancing all night, but what's it for you?
It's 3 things for me. It hit me when I was at Bonnaroo. It's like, it's community, creativity, and the thing that is the nexus for the 2 of those is compassion. And something happens when you're at a festival that, like, why for thousands of years, millions of humans have been going to mountains and like taking drugs and like making music and eating food and sleeping out there. And this is something that our whole story and timeline has evolved alongside in a manner that is reverent and ritualistic. And it will never go away. It's something that we are, on all levels of our psyche, heart and soul, compelled to do. And so those are the 3 things that I love. It's the community, the creativity, in whatever form it is. And then compassion. Where the compassion comes in is like when you're at a festival, you realize you can kind of clock out. You can be there more for yourself. And then when you're for yourself, your whole being takes in everything, isness of everyone else. And the other people, your friends, the music you've heard, the music you've yet to hear, the stuff that happens in between the sets and afterwards.
Yes.
You're more here.
In the moment. We're here in the moment. And, you know, we were talking about that very thing, and what we came up with was, yeah, it is a music festival, right? But the music is secondary almost to the experience of the festival, of the connection with the family community, the vibe that we're all synced into now that we've gathered and done the thing. We're all connected on a frequency, and that's the festival experience. That's the music is illustrating that point beautifully, but the thing that we're really here to do is that.
It really hit me one time at Blue Box. We were just at Blue Box last week. It was a phenomenal festival. And we played 2 sets within an hour from each other on different stages. And our second set was at this, it was on a stage called the Backwood Stage. And we played from, I think, 12 to 1 or 11 to 1, something like that. And there was all these jellyfish in the trees, and it was like very late, so you just kind of see jellyfish in like barely lit trees. And there's like all these humans out there, like all these people. And I remember thinking, it's like every note I play is like it's relative to everyone else. So if I'm playing one note, I'm actually playing 5,000 because you like legitimately are doing that, you know. And so there is the source signal of like the physics of the sound wave, sure, but I bet in some meta way that we don't have conscious permission to understand at our level. I really do think there is, for however many X many people there are in the room or in the forest of jellyfish, you are creating that many notes, and those notes are coming from a source that is literally your skin and bones. And so there's a frequency from your being that's happening, and it is getting compounded however many times you're playing it. So that's why it's just like,
Well, amplified through the perception and consciousness of the viewer or the person watching, right? It's the frequency going out and then being transmuted into experience in the human being that's out there. And I'll go so far as to say I know from right here that doing what we're doing here at this festival is a fundamental need of the human being.
100%.
We have to do this in one way or another, and there's a lot of ways to do the thing, but this is my favorite.
Me too.
I like that. That was heavy, man. That was deep. I dug that, man. Damn.
Well, I've been playing on stage all the time since I was 14, and there's never a lack of a new way to look at it. And that is one of the scarier ones. That one freaked me out. Really scary.
Why would that scare you, man? Ride that.
Yeah.
He did.
Well, it freaks you out because it's like, yeah. You know, you ever watch movies and the main character, movies are often a hero's journey, and the sole job of the hero is to and everyone's the hero. That's the game. No one person is, and the other people aren't. You are the hero. Your own story, and yours. Yeah. And part of the responsibility of the hero is to, in a volunteering manner, absorb the most responsibility they can for what is necessary in their life. And that one was just a heavy one for me because it points to the need of even more so having to stay more in tune with who I am as a person and just being honest with that. You know, if I'm playing one note but it's actually 5,000.
But you're one vessel. You only have one camera.
Yeah.
Right? You So you're not seeing the other 5,000 monitors that are out there picking it up.
Yeah.
You're the one camera that's taking the shot. That's it. Yeah.
That's why I think we're all the music. And I think that oftentimes when there's a show going on, some people are the seed. They're the ones that are closest to this invisible universal force of frequency. But we are all it. Because without you guys, the frequency, the consciousness horsepower to make the music with and to inspire the thoughts that we don't know where they're coming from, it doesn't work. So I think we're all the music. I'm probably going to maintain that stance for a while.
I'm gonna go with you on it. I'm gonna back you up.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what Jerry Garcia, I think, was getting at.
yeah. Well, I mean, talk about somebody that saw music in 1,000 different ways and was constantly evolving his perception of how he viewed it. Like, he really did take the ride. 100%, all the way, pedal all the way down the whole time. And this is an outpouring of that energy that came through that person. I'm not saying directly, right? There's a lot of people that are responsible for all of us sitting here today. But if you think about the impact of that one human being, I guarantee every person in this room has had some kind of experience with that energy, right? And that's Mel and I. What's that? Okay.
Oh, I know.
Bummer.
Well, that goes so fast.
Love us up on stage, Danny.
We're not used to being shut up. Oh.
I've been trying to figure out what that thing was for 30 plus years, right? That was like my whole trip. Like, what the hell happened to me? Mel, who never even got to see him, said, it's the same thing that when people like Ram Dass sat at the feet of his guru for the first time and was enveloped in the universal field, and his mind was blown, and he was a different person afterwards. Same thing as going and seeing the dead at my first show. I was like, oh my God, I had a guru experience and didn't know it.
That's the best kind.
Go get somebody. It's your job now.
Daniel, before you leave, because you have to go play and use those beautiful fingers, one blessing for everybody. What's a good thing? Leave them something good, you know? Leave them with something good.
Patience, persistence, positivity can be applied to any moment of life in a way that is effective.
We shouldn't mic drop, but I kind of want to.
Just kidding.
I think that works. Thank you guys so much. In a place of no space and time. Thank you very much.
Now that we're done with that,
To be continued.
one last thing. Dan, wait a sec till they get done below. Hey Daniel, where can people go see you shred today and tomorrow, man?
I'm about to go sit in with the Kitchen Dwellers, my
Yeah.
boys. We're going on tour October 5th through November 5th. And then I'm sitting in with Aggie later tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're playing the Mushroom Stage at 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to my manager, Owen Camden. My
Thank you,
tour
Owen.
manager.
Thank you, Owen.
Yeah.
All right.
And
All
then
right,
Sunday,
brother.
I'll VIP
Do your
set.
thing.
Thanks, Daniel.
All right, we'll see you on stage in a few. Thank you, everybody. Oh, we're not? We do.
What are we going to do for 15 minutes, you guys?
Oh, okay.
Here, I could dance.
Go.
Just kidding.
I'll come closer.
Fans.
You know what?
Talk about the fans.
No. Check this
Daniel.
out.
Daniel.
You know,
No, we do too.
oh, Daniel with his phone.
The phones are very important.
Physical reality is a thing, man. Later. So, in the life of No Simple Road, we've had the opportunity to go to a lot of concerts and a lot of festivals and a lot of stuff. And this is our first Peach. And there is something very special about this festival that I haven't quite put my finger on yet. I haven't quite figured it out. But the feeling here is very different of any other festival that we've ever been to. I'm curious, you guys, like, what's your trip with this place so far?
My trip? My trip for sure is that people have been ridiculously friendly. Everybody has been so warm and welcoming, and nobody knows who I am. I'm just a person in this, like everybody else, and I've had, well, a few people. But what I mean is, like, we're from the West Coast, this is the East Coast, and just seeing how people respond to one another, how we've been received, the energy that makes in a space, just that friendliness. The outfits are amazing. That is definitely,
you were going to say something
well,
about
it's
the
my
clothes and the
favorite part of any celebration. What are we gonna wear? What are we gonna look like, right? Accessories, headbands, whatever, accoutrements. So the generosity and the sweetness of the people, the grounds are incredible, magical and sacred. And yeah, the outfits, those are my top three so far.
Apple. Okay, I'm gonna go a little deeper and just say that being a West Coast person, this is my first time out to the East Coast. First thing that blew my mind, we're flying into Newark, New Jersey. I know where that is on the map, and I've seen, like, shows and stuff, but when I saw the skyline of New York City, I didn't realize we were gonna be able to see that from the plane. And I was like a little kid. I sat up and got by the window, and I said to them, and almost like, Mom and Dad, is that New York City? I got all excited seeing the sky. I was like, it looks like a mountain range of buildings. I mean, we live on the West Coast where there's mountain ranges, they're huge ones, and it was like a mountain range of buildings. So anyway, that, and then the drive here, a lot of you from the East Coast, the thing that I've heard about that blew me away is like traffic and stuff. And it is like everybody is in a hurry to get somewhere. It's more hustle bustle and everything. But then when we got here and got to Scranton, all of a sudden, like, when you get to your destination, it seems like all the people, every cafe we've gone to, everything we've done since we've arrived on the East Coast, everybody is so welcoming and so, like, friendly and about family. And then we get here to the beach, and it's just like, we just wander in here. West Coast is pretty chill with festivals, but that's like, it's different here. I just feel like we were saying, like, this just sense of community. It seems like everybody here knows each other well, and we are hearing that a lot from people we're talking to, walking around taking pictures. Most people have been coming to the Peach Lake since the beginning. We've met so many people, and it's just awesome to be a part of, like I said, to get invited to this, and to be welcomed so much to this. Have all you showing up here, and just incredible music we get to see. We got East Coast family that's coming and joining us and stuff.
And John. Sam over here.
and Sam. I just thank you all so much. But that's my first East Coast experience. And thank you very much. I can't wait to do more. I can't wait to go to New York City. I want to go to New York City and see Fish at MSG. I want to do all the things, man. To Vermont. We want to come to Vermont.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna dose you and cut you loose on the stairs at MSG.
I'm game.
All right, Aaron.
Okay.
What's your
conductor?
What's your take on the Peach so far?
It's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.
Well, like I said, man, I haven't quite put my finger on it yet, and there's definitely something peculiar afoot here, different than anywhere I've ever been. I've been to a lot of stuff. This is day 2, so this could change by the last day. But there's a definite, like, connected sense of family here. And I feel that on the West Coast, but like Apple said, there's a different vibe. There's magnetic lines that are on the planet, and when you live in a place, you become attuned to the place that you live in, just as your energy body is your frequency. You know what I mean? You live there, so you vibrate with the place that you live. And coming out to the East Coast is different. Like Apple said, it's different for us, and it's a really loving and welcoming thing, and it's really hard. I'm having a hard time with my words about it.
Because we're still feeling it.
Yeah.
We're still in the process of, like, taking everything in.
Yeah.
And just even doing this, like, we came yesterday and just kind of saw the lay of the land, and everything that we've been experiencing is surreal. And so when something is surreal, it's hard to put into words. It's hard to describe. especially when you're in it, you know?
I kind of look at it like, and this is going to be a really roundabout, out there thing, but whatever. It's the perfect place for that. I look at it like those, you've all seen fractals, right? And sometimes the fractals are like very misshapen, and as you go down into the fractal, like it's not organized. Then there's like, when you take a good hit of DMT, like those beautiful,
He's heard about
yeah, so
We have to stop for applause on that.
those beautiful geometric patterns that are, yes, yeah, that are perfectly organized, right? You know what you
There's
guys
DMT.
know what I'm talking about, you know? I feel like this festival is that like perfectly organized fractal that is just evolving and like pushing itself outward. And you know, the energy last night for Billy Strings, you could, before, okay,
Yeah, he brought it.
there was a lot of people out there at the pavilion, and like before he came on the stage, and it was really cool. Like, I've never seen any band do that before, where like they're like 15 minutes and 10 minutes and so look, I think is brilliant, because we're a bunch of Spunions and we're just doing our thing, floating around. If you know 15 minutes is coming, you're ready. Now I'm getting ready. Energetically, I'm getting ready. I'm like doing it, you know, right? And I'm getting ready to do the thing. So you could feel it go down last night. They put up that 15-minute thing, and it was like this pressure came down, like barometric pressure came down in the pavilion. It was like, oh shit, something's getting ready to go down here. And so, sorry. And then when it got down to like 5 minutes, it was that feeling of going over the roller coaster, like when you're at the top and the last couple clicks are happening, it's like, that was the feeling in the pavilion. And then when he took the stage, it was almost like somebody let the pressure out of the room. Like the pressure release valve got hit, and then he started bringing the heat. And it was one of the most amazing, that was my first time seeing Billy Strings.
Yeah, it was our
Yeah,
first time.
yeah, shout out to the first timers.
We actually had him on the show, and we haven't even seen him live. Yes, Billy Strings laid down orange for this festival last night, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that experience, I was 100% sober. I was on no sleep. That was my drug last night.
Sleep deprivation is a hell of a drug.
Beautiful thing. Yeah. It was, that experience of seeing him last night was transcendent, and I think it was the perfect way to send off this weekend to like put the you know, give us all a
Nice
nice
little bow
show.
on it.
Yeah, to begin this thing
Yes.
that we call Peach and 10th anniversary, man. And I'm excited to see J-Rad and Tab and Goose and the Black Crows, and like, I don't even know how to feel right now. And then we got to do this the next couple of days.
So many
We're going to be
things to
sitting
see.
down with Jennifer Hartswick and James Casey.
So
and-
tomorrow, why don't we let everybody know the schedule, that way they can come back. Tomorrow, same time, same place, we are going to have Donnie from Eggy,
Yep. And
Dogs in a Pile,
Jimmy and
No.
Sam.
oh, Jimmy and Sam,
from Dogs in a Pile.
and James Casey.
James Casey tomorrow.
And then Sunday is going to be the women, right, with Maggie Rose and Jennifer Hartswick. And I would say, truly, truly, Sunday, come see that, because Jennifer Hartswick is something special. We had her on the show recently, and it's probably was one of my favorite things we've ever done.
If
yeah,
you're
she's
a
amazing.
Tab fan, if you're a Jennifer Hartswick fan, and you've not like listened to interviews
person
with her,
fan.
and you've just seen her play music, the power that you see on stage is equal to the power of the human being just sitting, chilling, talking, having a conversation.
Powerful woman.
She is intense. It's super rad. So I have no idea what we're going to talk about. So come hang out.
Come find out.
It's going to be something. We'll do something. I promise.
Well, I'd say one last thing about my first trip out to the East Coast, because I want to redo it again. I just want to go on a food tour of the East Coast, because we all love food, and damn, we
With
got good
music
food out
apple.
there.
That doesn't have anything to do with the peach.
Yeah, well, yeah, it does. Did you sell the food
I
out
wanna
here?
go eat.
Are you kidding me? There's a lot of food to be had here at the beach.
All right, everybody, hey,
Thank
Thanks
you.
for hanging out with us. We'll
Thank
be
you
back
so
tomorrow
much.
at 2:30.
Yes.
And follow us on Instagram, No Simple Road.
And catch those episodes with Billy Strings, Daniel Donato, and Jennifer Hartswick on No Simple Road, because those are really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And we love you guys. We'll see you
Yay.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Happy
thank
Beach.
you all.